The small talk turned into undress, can I see a little something, sexual innuendos. He exposed himself to me. I didn't scream or yell. I just remember feeling really gross.
Jacqueline Ferris is waiting.
I want to see someone being held accountable for this.
In December of 2015, while serving time for drug charges in Logan Correctional Center,
I took a wrong path.
She says now former correctional officer Eric Colress raped her in the prison laundry room.
I don't think that anyone's prepared for it until it happens, and then I was so stuck.
She says she reported what happened that same day. 2 days later, Eric Colress left the Department of Corrections.
Eric has maintained that Ms. Ferris manipulated him, cajoled him, if you will, into doing something that he knew better than to do.
Ferris originally reported the encounter was consensual, something she says prison staff pressured her to say.
I was nervous because I did brush my teeth and he didn't ejaculate inside of me. So I thought, what if they find nothing? So the investigator has the box, which contains my underwear and the rape kit and everything that they've done. So he was like, if this box does not say that he raped you, you're gonna get more time.
By speaking up, Ferris says she had to do more time. She was planning to go to a boot camp program for first-time offenders that would have taken years off her sentence. But Ferris says IDOC didn't allow her to move forward with that program.
That was one of the things that he told me, if I tell, that I will not go to boot camp. And he was right about that.
That makes no sense. Think about it for a moment. It's not exactly news to anyone that it's illegal for a guard and an inmate to have sex. The idea that someone who's going to lose their job for doing that is then going to prevent the person from going to boot camp is ludicrous.
Colress was eventually arrested more than 2 years after he resigned. He later pleaded guilty to 2 counts of custodial sexual misconduct.
This is much different than forcible rape cases. This is much different than child molesters. This has nothing to do with those things where there is a public safety concern for people on the outside.
In the plea, he acknowledged having sex with an inmate while working for IDOC, a felony normally requiring the guilty party to register as a sex offender. But instead of prison time, a judge in Logan County sentenced him to Veterans Treatment Court.
Assuming your client completes the full program, would he have to register as a sex offender at all?
If the conviction in this case is vacated and the charge is then dismissed, the duty to register as a sex offender would not go on with it.
Colress is currently finishing out the program and is set to have the charges dismissed.
It made me feel sick because after the end of his program, he will have no conviction, like this never happened, so he can potentially work in another prison or jail and reoffend.
There's nothing about the crime of custodial sexual misconduct that has any linkage to some tendency to offend on the outside.
During sentencing last fall, Ferris saw him for the first time since that fateful December morning. She read her victim impact statement for the judge and Colress.
Was he in the room at the time?
The hardest part was that he was in the room and he was feet from me. And I just remember like him crying and his face was red and I felt almost bad, like I still felt like I was wanting to protect my perpetrator a little bit.
The legal battles aren't over for Eric Colress. Ferris is suing him and others from IDOC for damages stemming from her alleged rape. Now out of prison, she wants her story to inspire others to report sexual misconduct behind bars.
I want my voice to let other inmates know, female inmates, that you have rights. You're still a person, you're a mother, you're a daughter, a sister. You're a human being that made a mistake.
As we reported this story, we wanted to learn more about the Veterans Treatment Court program and why Colress was sentenced to it. We're able to track down the judge involved in his case, who also happens to be one of the founders of the program that covers Logan County.
Judge Charles Feeney is a former Marine. He understands many of the veterans in this program on a level few can.
These are veterans that served their country, that freely gave of their time out of their life to go serve and stand in harm's way for us. That impact manifests itself in different ways.
And Veterans Treatment Court is a way to deal with that head on, to make sure that this involvement with the criminal justice system is someone's last.
In order to qualify, veterans need to have a substance abuse or mental health issue, and the offense needs to be eligible for probation. His attorney wouldn't get into specifics, but says Colress's service in the Air Force gave him some condition that checked the first box. The charge of custodial sexual misconduct checked the second. Still, Ferris and her attorneys strongly objected.
It's typically not used in a situation like this where someone's abusing their power, especially in a situation where you have essentially a rape.
Our philosophy is that if the offense is eligible, we will consider it. Period.
I wish that we could change the law. This is going to keep happening. The way that they're handling it and nobody's being held accountable, it's going to keep happening.
As a sitting judge, Feeney cannot comment on any specific case, but neither Ferris nor her attorneys hold any ill will toward the program. They just strongly object to how it was applied in this case. According to Illinois state statute, if Colress had been charged and convicted of rape or sexual assault, he would not have been eligible in the first place. In Logan County, Deron Molen, WAND News.
With each stroke, Jessica Seebach creates a picture. And if a picture is worth, say, 1,000 words, how much is a painting or a memory?
I love the process of capturing someone accurately.
Jessica captures memories in her wide array of colors, from personal portraits of her husband to smiles hidden in a toddler's scribbles. But the most powerful memories are often bittersweet.
I started to get into this when I had my own personal family losses, and my instinct was to do a portrait of them.
Grief, like an artist's palette, is messy, a swirl of colors and emotions begging to attach themselves to the canvas of our memories. Jessica used her art to help process the loss of her grandparents. Now she shares that gift with others.
It's just a huge honor. I just love that there's something that I can do. I think a lot of people, when someone's passed and someone's grieving, it's hard to know what to say, what to offer, and it's cool that I have something tangible that I can make and make an impact for them.
Stunned, shocked, how is it possible?
Reagan Adams knows grief, but she also knows joy.
The sky cleared up completely, the sun came out, it was a beautiful day.
Her wedding this past September was picture perfect, but one thing was missing: Tanner.
When Reagan got married, it was a lot to know that he couldn't be there, and she had put her wedding on hold while he was getting so sick.
Tanner Gillen died of brain cancer in January of 2019. He was just 14 years old.
I miss him more than anything in this world. Tanner's not only my little brother, my baby brother, he's my best friend.
Jessica and Reagan go all the way back to middle school art class in Warrensburg. The two kept in touch after Jessica graduated from Millikan and then left Central Illinois. All of her projects are important, but this one tugged at her memories.
That's been one of the most important and impactful commissions that I've taken on.
There's Reagan and Tanner, brother and sister, candidly pictured how they were for 14 years.
That picture, I think, speaks 1,000 words about Tanner. All I wanted was for him to be there, and now I have this picture that it puts him there. It makes it real.
A memory Reagan may not have lived, but one that is worth more words and stories than she can count.
Your story is always worth telling. no matter what you've been through or who you are or what your background is, it's worth telling, it's worth making a painting.
Indicator Deron Molen, WAND News. Outside of snow and ice, what do you see? Sure, there's the puck, a few hockey sticks, a squeegee. Okay, no more squeegee. And were those Nike basketball shoes?
I have no clue what we're doing, but we're having fun.
Hit it out!
So there's a lot to see out on the ice. But what don't you see?
You want the kids to get off the video games, off their cell phones, and get outside.
Here, Chase, send me up, send me! Oh, you missed it!
Drew Hittmeyer has spent much of the past week out here.
I don't play hockey, you know, none of us really do. I skated the first day, and then I did fine. The second I put my shoes on, I fell. That was probably the worst.
What started as his mom scrolling on Facebook to stave off winter boredom
What are you gonna do when you have freezing tundra temperatures?
turned into all of this.
I texted the dads in the neighborhood. Didn't really think they'd take it seriously.
We just got chatting, and I said, hey, I've got the wood, I've got all the equipment, let's get this done.
After a few hours of hard work, the Hittmeyers' idea turned into a full-blown backyard hockey rink. Once the ice froze, all that was needed was someone to drop the puck and make the save.
Saves like the ones Paisley Patrick makes in goal, building confidence one shovel swipe at a time.
If you mess up, it's not that big of a deal. Just get up and keep on going.
They're so good with the little ones, giving them their time to get their goals in, and then they take the time off the ice and are rough with each other.
You know that they look up to you, and you want to be able to lead them in the right way, not down a wrong path.
This is my boy.
Life lessons. Life goals. Achieved without the internet.
A lot of times kids are stressed out between everything, between school or being on their phones. The fact that you can come out here and do this, it just, nothing else matters, it's fun.
On the frozen ice of Mount Zion, Deron Molen, WAND News.